Go.
We're back. Let's go get Seath.
Alright, actually first we're gonna rest at this bonfire and warp back to Firelink because I was doing some reading up and we should be able to see Siegemeyer's daughter down here. So I want to go to Firelink and see if we need to move him to get her to show up, as long as we're out here.
Well, I think you have to do the Lost Izalith part to get her to be here.
No, I think as soon as...
Just talking to him at Firelink or whatever?
As soon as you get him to leave and go down to Blighttown, then
she spawns?
Yeah.
Alright.
There you are. I'll be heading down below. There's nothing left. No worries.
Old Onion Knight.
Okay, well, then that's...
There, I'll be. There's nothing. No.
Alright, he says he's on the way. Okay, I guess we'll see. Oh well, since we have this warp point, we can always come back, but we are going to try to complete that quest. So we're back in Duke's Archives, still fighting Seath, still not doing too hot.
He's a tough one.
He's really not, it's just cutting off his tail is tough.
Yep. And he curses.
Yep, that's a thing that he does. Is that it? No.
Boom. Boy, you're heavy. All dead Ornstein armor.
It's not lightweight, that's for sure.
I think it's back up towards the building, right?
Yeah, but oh well.
But you're just going for Seath. You got your eyes on the prize.
Yeah.
Let's go get him.
Yep, let's take care of him. And I guess, do we still want to try and get the Moonlight Greatsword?
I mean, it's up to you. You're the one who has to do it. I'm just watching.
You're just watching and judging.
I'm just along for the ride.
Alright.
And there's no judgment here.
We'll try it again. Problem is, I might take some of this armor off since you move so slow in it. Let me just do that right here.
It's up to you. We can also edit through this part. I mean, they don't have to see you run back, I guess.
Still two.
Okay, I'm on about a 15-second delay, so just know that.
Okay.
Is it the... Maybe it's just the health. I mean, what's your endurance at by now?
40.
Wow.
Yeah, 40.
Wow. Either this is weird, or Dark Souls 2 has destroyed my former understanding of weight and endurance.
That is the correct assessment.
Okay.
Because Dark Souls 2... Anyway, we'll get to that. Okay, so we're back to the boss fog. Let's try Seath round, let's say 4.
Times 10. Get to the fog, hurry!
So, yeah,
Get to the fog now!
I have to run over here.
Gotta hit that crystal.
Where's my stain?
It just sounds so dirty when you ask that.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, I'm tired of waiting now. So the crystal's destroyed. We're once again doing the Seath runaround.
Gotta get to that back tail.
We did it!
Hooray!
God.
We don't have to worry about this ever again.
I know. So yes, that got us the Moonlight Greatsword.
Which would be great if you were a magician. Or sorcerer, whatever. Illusionist. Escape artist, whatever term you want to use. And as you'll see, if you're not trying to get that one tip of the tail, killing Seath is not too bad.
It's not terribly difficult.
You just gotta watch out for the curse spikes.
Yeah, which I obviously didn't there.
Well, you know, it happens. But otherwise, you just sort of hug close to him,
Yeah, and you want to stay in the front, because if you stay behind him, as we saw when I was trying to get the tail...
He does a little tail stomp that hurts.
And that's it. Once again, if you're not going for the tail, it's a relatively simple
Yep.
fight. And so we receive the bequeathed Lord Soul Shard.
And there's his tail still there.
Yep, and I need to figure out where my stain is.
That stain.
And also try not to attract... There it is. Not to attract those, clams. There we go. Oh, there was nothing to... Anyway, for all of the lords, after you kill them, a bonfire randomly spawns in their boss room. Since you have to have the lord vessel by now, they know that you can just rest here and then warp out, which is what we're going to do.
And then it becomes a primal bonfire.
And we are in fact going to warp back to the Duke's archives and continue our quest with our good friend, the Big Hat Logans.
Loganus?
Yes.
That's his Latin name, was Loganus.
That's what I heard.
How do you say hat in Latin?
I do not recall.
Because his name is Loganus Magnus Hat.
Magnus Hattus.
Magnus Hattus Loganus. Wait, is he here? Did you buy all his spells at Firelink already?
Yeah, he's here. Remember, he's back in that,
Oh yeah, right, I forgot.
we have
We
to
saw
go-
him in his cave.
Yeah, we have to go all the way back.
We might edit this, but... Well, maybe it's useful to see how, but you just have to retrace your steps back to the prison.
Yes. You must
area.
retrace your steps all the way back to the prison cell where you were kept prior.
And if you're asking, but why? The answer is because this is Dark Souls.
And Dark Souls got no fucks to give.
This is what we do.
Yeah, so you just go up that, you just go up those stairs in the room that you end up with, and now you're back in the hallway that you were in when you first escaped the tower. And so this will take you back to the tower. And of course the enemies are still here. And there's of course the courtyard where we just were.
Infinite crystal skeletons.
Yes.
Of course the Black Knight Halberd doesn't care.
It has no fucks to give.
It does not give a shit that there's crystal skeletons here. Oh, the memories. This is such a nostalgic trip back
Indeed.
in time.
Look at us go. So, once again, we've got our
This is
lizard
still
buddies.
less backtracking than Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid, I tried to play it recently,
It's the king of the backtracking.
and like I hadn't realized, like I've played it once before, and I just like burned out of my memory the fact that it makes you backtrack through the whole game twice.
Well, you have to keep going back to that armory room to keep getting new weapons to get further on. So that, I mean, it's the king of the backtracks, that game.
Yeah, I think I saw an analysis of it that said that counting actual individual enemies and not counting how you have to backtrack through them, there's only like 20 guards in the whole game. Mm-hmm. It's just like...
Well, there's a part of Metal Gear Solid 4 where you go back to Shadow Moses and do all that again, and it takes about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you don't you just run through the thing, and it's 20 minutes, you're done.
Alright, so, we're finally
But that,
back.
yeah, that's Metal Gear Solid isn't related to Dark Souls.
So we're back, and of course all of these little Cthulhu thingies are here
Yep,
because they respawn.
they sure do.
And I'm gonna try my damnedest to not get caught by them and be embarrassed.
Well, it'll probably happen.
Oh yeah, I'm not betting on it. And thank God the halberd's got some good range on it.
It sure does. Also the damages.
Yep, and then we see one of them dropped a humanity, which is a hint that these were probably once human.
Or still are.
Yes.
I mean, what makes us human? Is it not our souls and our...
Holy dude,
Dude, what? I'm not there yet.
didn't expect. There's a snake.
Oh, the
Decided to join the party.
snakish Inquisition. No one expects it.
Nobody ever expects it, and well, oh my god. I really hope we remember to get this key. I think we did.
We have it. We must. We must. We've
So
been
yes.
everywhere. We must.
Oh right, I forgot. Once you kill Seath, Logan frees himself. So this was a backtrack pretty much just for
Well,
this.
but there's an item.
Firekeeper soul.
Which again is a hint that there was once a bonfire here, maybe.
Yes. Anyway, yes, I forgot. Once you kill Seath... Oh, god damn it. Then...
Well, Firekeeper Souls, I mean, that is a very important item, and you should go back to get it, because it ups your Estus, so
Yes.
definitely do that.
But if you are just completing Big Hat Logan's quest, once you kill Seath, then Logan will free himself from that cage we saw him in. And will
FYI.
reappear... Yes. Over here in this little, very rummaged through book room where he has immersed himself in Seath's studies. And he is just over here, and you may not even notice him.
Hello there. I was expecting you.
Old Loganus, Hadus Magnus.
More than expected. As promised, I shall share the new sorceries with you. And the secret of Seath's immortality.
Yes, so by studying Seath's books and research, Logan has modified his own spells that we can purchase from him. Obviously, we didn't before because we're not a mage in this build, but you can see that his new spells involve crystals, which
And they're very good spells, also.
Yes. And in order to progress his story further, we must now buy every single one of his spells, even though we're not going to use them. But we can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, and if you are a sorcerer, again, these are things you want because they're great spells.
Crystal Soul Spear is just
Breaks
really
the game, rips it wide open. By the way, it's Loganus Petasus Magnus.
I see.
A Petasus is a Latin hat.
The knowledge here is limitless. I will absorb it, then share it with you.
Yes, and so as we see, he is
Hello there.
really just absorbed in the work.
If you have fought him when we're in prison, you must know
He is losing his grip on sanity.
it is an effect of the prime.
Here
And if
we
you
learn-
talk to him, he mentions more about the lore and see.
Yes, we learn about the crystal that we broke. And this is to help players if they don't know about that. Again, if you free Logan ahead of time, he moves here before you fight Seath.
And then you know to destroy the crystal.
Yeah, and then you learn that the crystal is what's keeping Seath alive. So that's a hint as to what to do.
The tomes store the great pool of knowledge. Some would say Seath had all progress, and I certainly bear no evidence.
Yes, and so now we see that Logan's sort of falling into the allure of Seath's research, even though we know that it sort of drove Seath mad. So we shall see whether it does the same to our good friend here.
And that means he doesn't want to talk to you anymore.
Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and pop some souls here. Soul of a hero. Oh, Dark Souls 1 soul. Oh god. Okay. Yes,
You can just-
and see.
Put him in your inventory.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, as we can see, the more we buy his items, the more he's sort of losing his grip on reality, as it were. Okay, oh boy, we need a lot more souls.
Come again, anytime, for I too.
Do you have them? I mean, we might need to come back.
I might. Let's see what we can do here. I mean, we can pop these boss souls. We're never going to use them.
That's true. Boss souls do make boss weapons, but they're rarely actually great.
Yeah, boss weapons are usually very fun to look at, and usually have some sort of little special effect or ability, but they're almost never actually good in the sense of good damage stats and move sets.
Yep.
So we're just going to pop some of these souls here, because again, we don't really need them. We're not really leveling up much anymore in this playthrough because we've reached high enough as we need to be.
As you lumber along.
I know. Well, that's just because of the weight. That's not going to be enough, but it'll be...
Almost enough.
It'll get us some more. So we need 33,000 more.
So yeah, if you're a magician and actually need all this stuff,
If you
I feel
are,
for
yeah,
you.
Yeah, if you are a sorcerer, you want all of this stuff. But as you can see, it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and pop. We're never going to use this soul of Priscilla. So that's 12. We're not
Iron
gonna
Golem we're not going to use.
Yeah, we're not going to use the Iron Golem. So, and we're not going to use...
Probably not Gwendolyn either.
Yeah, probably not Gwendolyn. There we go. That's all we need. So now we purchase the last of his spells, and now we've cleaned him out. And so now
And
we
he's
talk
going to go
him.
back to where you first fought Seath, and he will... Well, that's all I'll say. You have to go back to where you first
Yeah,
fought
and
Seath.
now we see that he's completely gone mad. He doesn't recognize us. He doesn't know what's going on. And he's not interested in us anymore.
He's completely engrossed in Seath's work. And we see that... Well, Seath, I don't know, he was probably mad to effing begin with, but
Yeah.
if not from the beginning, it was the research that made him mad.
So
This
now,
is Cthulhu.
Yeah.
This is H.P. Lovecraft, the
Yeah,
Dark Souls
The,
era.
the idea that too much knowledge will drive you crazy, especially if it's knowledge related to immortality.
The crystals.
Really? You're still here? Okay. I guess we should probably, like, actually warp out and come back.
Well, don't... I mean, you just have to go meet him at the top where Seath was.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. The rest... Yeah. So now we're gonna go back, again, to... This time we're gonna go way back to the very beginning.
You can probably just... Well, never mind. I guess it wouldn't be any faster to warp to Orlando and do the whole thing.
No. There's a path up here. These areas do connect. I just have to find
The stairs.
the right stairs.
The one set of stairs.
Oh god. No, well... There could be more than one set of stairs, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so as you can see, this takes us back to... God, these just...
They're everywhere.
This takes us back to... I'm gonna die.
That's possible.
Holy shit, I didn't die. So yeah, if you go up the stairs and take the landing that you reach at and then go through that little doorway, you end up in the very first hallway that you were in when you first came in. And you can reset that elevator that I just had to reset. And get out of my way!
They're so mad. It's the welcome party.
Yeah, and then you can get back on the elevator and go back up to the first room that you met Seath in. Where we may in fact find somebody else. That somebody else is Big Hat Logan.
Loganus Potassus Magnus.
That's the one.
He is back.
He's probably gonna kill me too.
Well, what do you mean? How do you know he'll be an antagonistic force when you get up
Who's
there?
to know?
Who's to say? Oh, this brings me back. These little crystalline hallways.
Huh, he's not here. Yeah.
Well, poop. Are we missing something?
Anyway, Seath is gone, obviously. You can open up this chest and get the large magic ember, which you can give to a guy we really have never talked to in this playthrough, who's near the entrance to New Londo, who can use that to make magic weapons plus 10. And then back here is a secret soul of a great hero. This is one of only two. There are only two souls of a great hero in the game, I think.
Okay, yeah, it is necessary to warp out of the area and then warp back
Yeah.
to have him
Alright.
spawn here. So that's what we did wrong.
Okay, so we're gonna
Do that another time.
do that to go back to where we were, and then we are going to rest here and warp back to Firelink and see if Siegmeyer has finally left.
Yep.
And he has not. So I don't know what he's doing.
This is a comedy of errors.
No worries.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna rest here and warp back to Duke's Archives.
I mean, some of these things are triggered by defeating one of the Lord Souls as well. Like, I know the Lady in White stuff is...
Yeah.
you have to kill one of the Lord Souls, I think, for her to get back.
So, and then if we go in here, we find that Logan has left, and he's left a chest that contains all of his gear, except for his hat. So, I wonder why he abandoned all of his stuff except for his hat. It's an interesting question.
'Tis indeed.
Oh god, these dudes. Just crystal
Persevere.
skeletons.
Persevere.
Persevere.
Persevere. So again, the mistake we made is you have to warp out and then warp back to this. But like we did before, you just have to go back to the first part. You meet Seath, and you may or may not meet Big Hat Logan, or Loganus Potassus Magnus.
Yes. If you're using his
Please don't
Roman
return to the bonfire.
No, I'm not.
We don't want to do all this again.
No, just one more time for the folks at home.
Run it back again.
Just run it back. Okay. So we're gonna run up here one more time. And then, oh look! It's Logan with no clothes on.
And he's angry at you. Now, for those wondering, oh no, this is really intimidating. It's this magic guy. It's really not too difficult. As you'll see, he just has a slew of magical attacks. You just
really
the
not
way
that
you would attack
difficult.
any magical enemy, you do him. So just dodge roll the magic and hit him.
Yeah, or just sidestep it. Anyway.
Right. And the Black Knight Halberd does a lot.
And he drops a sorcery, the White Magic Breath, his hat, and the 10 Crystallization Catalyst. So clearly, and he's in Seath's chamber, so clearly Logan's research led him to become insane and think that he needed to emulate Seath to be immortal, which included living in Seath's chamber here.
And being naked.
And taking off his clothes. Since Seath was scaleless, obviously the key to his power is to not have any sort of
It's to be naked.
outer shell or garment. And that is
Pretty much all you can do in Duke's Archives.
Duke's Archives.
Well, except for talk to Siegmier's daughter.
Who is still not showing up because Siegmeyer will not leave.
Well, I think we have to defeat another Lord Soul to get him to move. I don't know.
Anyway, which one shall we do next?
Well, let's do the DLC.
Oh, okay.
Why not? Let's mix it up a bit.
Alright, let's see. What's the best way to get there?
Well, first of all, did you talk to the lady and have her move to the crypts yet?
I mean, she moves on her own.
Okay.
I'm sure she's down there.
So,
I
if
know
you'll
she's
remember...
here.
Well, yeah, you might want to just talk to her, because this is another side character. And if you are a cleric or a paladin or whatever, a faith build, you might want to talk to her because she sells some miracles. So, as you'll remember, at the beginning of the Duke's Archives was that lone sort of weird crystal golem to the side there, which was guarding a broken pendant. And when you get that item, that allows you to access the DLC. Now, when you start the DLC is pretty much up to you. It doesn't really affect the game too much, the sole exception being a special little entry video when you fight Seath if you have already done the DLC. Now, we defeated Seath before doing the DLC, so that will not happen.
Yes.
Now, the actual entrance to the DLC area will be all the way back in Darkroot Basin, near where the Hydra was.
Right. And unfortunately, there is no nearby bonfire, so it necessitates us walking around a bit. Oh, and over here, once you kill the 4 kings, a body will show up here that has the witch's outfit, armor, which belongs to Witch Beatrice, who was an NPC that we could summon for the Moonlight Butterfly and for the 4 kings, but you should never ever summon her for the 4 kings. And summoning her for the Moonlight Butterfly is heartily recommended.
So my dog was barking at nothing, so I had to go.
Yes, I figured.
I had to go calm the babe.
Yep. And so here's this undead dragon still hanging out after he killed us way back at the beginning. And I guess we can go ahead and kill him now.
Just don't die.
No promises.
If you're arranged, like a sorcerer or anything like that, this fight's actually pretty even easier. If not, this fight is a lot like the dragon in the Painted World of Ariamis. You'll notice it does the same kind of goo breath attack.
Yeah, and that is poison. It won't poison you instantly. You have to sort of stand in it for a second, but it will damage you and poison you.
Right, and so what Deprava's doing is pretty much the melee strategy. You just hit him, roll out of the
Yeah,
poison.
you pretty much just clip his toenails over and over, and then roll out of the goo.
And don't roll off the cliff, for
Yeah.
God's sakes. It's happened to the best of us.
The best of us and the blurst of us.
Well, I like to think of myself as the best of us.
Yes. And so back here, and once again we are at the bridge in front of New Londo, where we were when we were fighting the 4 kings. And once again, there's these annoying drakes that I don't think I've ever bothered to kill, ever.
I've killed him a few times. It doesn't really do much, but it makes you feel good.
If you're wanting to farm dragon scales in the game, this is where you do it. Dragon scales are a particular upgrade item that allows you to upgrade dragon-based weapons. Mostly the weapons that you get from cutting off a dragon's tail. You need the dragon scales to upgrade them. And you can get them either from killing those drakes over and over, and the drop rate is very low, or you can get them from a PvP covenant that we have not discovered yet.
But we will someday.
One day. It has been foretold.
And again, before the DLC, this part you wouldn't have done. You would have just gone after another one of the souls that you need for the Lord Vessel.
Yes.
But we're going to take a little detour, because why not? It's fun.
Yep.
Although, Lord, those bosses are harder than anything you will experience in the actual game.
They're quite a bit more difficult. It's even though based on the fact that you get the item to get into the DLC in Duke's Archives, which means that you could go to this area very soon after acquiring the Lord Vessel. It's obvious based on the way that the bosses are balanced that they expect you to be sort of a veteran of the game.
Yeah, the DLC came out a long time after the game, so they really ramped up the difficulty and attack patterns of the bosses, because, pretty much expecting people to be old hats at this.
Yes, and this DLC was actually... Oh, I didn't know that was the ring I had on. I'm going to go ahead and put on the rusted iron ring to allow us to run through this water without getting slowed down. This DLC, unlike a lot of DLC now, and certainly unlike the Dark Souls 2 DLC, was not planned. This actually does represent an area of the game that was cut for time when they were creating it originally, and it was after the sort of runaway success of Dark Souls and the decision to port it over to PC that they decided to resurrect this area and give the fans a little bit more to work with, and so they just sort of shunted it in over here. And of course, since they knew that the hardcore fans would be the ones playing this, they made this area far more difficult than the base game because they were assuming
that you'd play the game
yes.
50 million times by the
And
time.
over here, we find Dusk's stuff, which you find here after you talk to her, after you free her. We just didn't
Right,
go
if you'll
back.
remember way back, we fought the Golden Golem and freed her and everything.
Yes. And Dusk's crown, her headgear, is actually very unique in that it increases your spell power, like the attack, the damage of all of your spell casts. So it's very good for a sorcerer.
Mm-hmm. And you'll notice this sort of black mist thing there. What could that possibly be?
We shall see. No, no.